Perfect. We're good to go. And welcome, Natalie and Georgina. We're super excited for you to share refining strategies for impactful coaching, and the floor is yours.
Wonderful. Well, welcome everyone. Happy Saturday. Now, does everyone have access to the slide deck?
I can get everyone access to it.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, just to start off, I'm going to introduce myself, and then I'll give it over to Georgina to introduce herself. But I'm Natalie. I live in Toronto, Canada. I went to school here for university, and then I decided to pick up and travel and go to New Zealand for 2 years to get my teaching diploma. And when I returned home, I got a full-time job teaching, and I took my master's at the University of Toronto. I'm a Google certified coach and educator. I'm Apple certified. I'm Microsoft certified, and I've been teaching at Crescent for about 16 years, and it's an all-boys school located in Toronto. And it's a school that caters to all boys grades 3 to 12. I'm head of the math department and the technology innovation department in the lower school, grades 3 to 6. I'm the assistant director of the summer academic program, grades 9 to 12, and I teach grade 5. And right now we're all online learning because we are in lockdown. So there you go. Georgina, over to you.
We need to give Natalie another shout out, guys. Now that you're all in the deck, please give her a round of applause in the chat because she literally did a phenomenal job getting that prepared way ahead of time. I don't think I've ever met an educator as prepared ahead as Natalie. And I'm really excited because she is in Canada, as you heard her say, which is where I grew up and went to school. So it was really, really lovely connecting with her the last few days to learn about her adventures in Canada. So if you are from that area or you visited Canada before, then give her a shout out and let her know. So my name's Georgina. You guys all know me before. I have 0 credentials, 0 certifications. And so I'm just here to cheer Natalie on and, be cheerleaders for the rest of y'all. That was my poor attempt at humor at like 7 o'clock at night. So I think Becky smiled possibly, so that's a win. Okay. On a real note, working as Director of Learning Technology for a K-12 nonprofit international school in Amman, Jordan, for those of you who are meeting me for the first time. So I'm supporting them with their digital transformation, and I've been working in the Middle East for about, this is my 16th year. And I'm a Google trainer and innovator, and I think time is the only thing holding me back from getting my Google coach certification. So that's next on the list. But really, really happy to meet you all. Yeah, it is noon over where you're at, Priscilla. Yes, possibly. It's pretty late here. But for Abid too, Abid's only a few hours behind me. And Francis, you guys are, what, 5 p.m. I guess?
At 5 p.m., that's right.
So later afternoon. Okay, so Natalie is going to kickstart this party. I hope you guys are all ready. I'm on like my 7th coffee, believe it or not.
Good for you. All right, so there's my Twitter handle. If you guys want to reach out and follow me, I'll follow you back. And if you want to go to slide 3, I would love for you to meme your mood. So if you could go to the links there and add your meme on the shared doc. There's also some links to help you create your own if you want, or search for your own. You can as well. So while I'm blabbering on here, you've got some fun stuff to do and work on, and it's a neat way for us to kind of get to know each other. And please put your name and where you're located right now, currently in the world.
This is so fun. I'd like to see if Shannon is as fast with the meme as she is with her gifts on Twitter. I don't know who else is with me on that. Let's see.
Wow, we've got lots of fast tech people. Good. Oh my gosh, Jesse, that's hilarious.
Oh, they're so fast. Look at that. That's incredible.
Amazing. Okay. while you guys are working on that, I'm just going to carry on and talk about basically this unit in the curriculum. And Georgina and I were talking about it the other day, how I feel, and I believe she feels the same way, that this unit in the curriculum is quite subjective. I think that it's important for all of you to look at it through a lens of empathy and maybe compassion in terms of time and how everyone's schools and environments are going to be different and look different and feel different. So this is all about really reflecting on the current situation at your school. What is the hardware at your school like? What do you need? What do you need more of? Is there tech support? Is there a shared understanding of existing resources? And is there clarity of the approval process and the speed of the approval process? It's super important too to identify next steps and goal setting. And it's super important to clip on to the administrators that can make that happen. Lots of steps involved in identifying those next steps, writing them down, write down the ways that coaching is helping meeting strategic goals. You want to brainstorm support for each of those goals. You want to identify high impact action items, and then determine evidence of completion. And doing that with those stakeholders, those administrators, board members, whatever it is that's happening at your school, that's super important to clip on. Plan to share too how the coaching program has or will benefit your school, and be sure that you can communicate it and celebrate to all the stakeholders, the teachers, the parents, the district leaders, whatever that may look like in your environment. How are we going with the memes?
Let's take a look. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, so
yeah, so creative.
Yeah. Oh, it's so true. Caffeine is such a trickster, right? I mean, for me, it's still up in the air.
Becky, that's incredible.
Okay,
That's
do
funny.
feel free to keep adding to those guys after the fact. It'd be fun to share that on the EC Open Chat website after. That's so cool you like to garden. I don't think we have much of that over here in Amman, Jordan, guys. We live on top of the mountain, and it's like a bunch of sand and rock, so it's a little difficult to garden outside the backyard here, but that's cool if you are in a place where you can do that. Okay, awesome. So I think we want to let you guys jump into breakout rooms, right, for this next part?
I think so.
I think that'd be really cool. We'd love to get you guys chatting together, and we have a Jamboard that you can do that on. So I'm going to drop the link in the Google Meet chat here just in case you need it. And also you can click on the slide, and it is linked just below the slide. So you can see it just there, and it's also linked in the speaker notes. So it should be easily accessible. Oh, you guys are already on it. Wow. Okay, cool. So this is in my trainer domain, not in my personal domain. So I'll have to reshare the screen, but I think we can just put them into breakout rooms now. Becky, are you able to help us with that, or is it Avid, or?
Yeah, I can help with that.
Okay. So guys, on the Jamboard, it's basically a copy of this this Google slide here, and so you want to have a discussion about challenge-based coaching model and how it can help to meet your school goals. And we'd love it if you guys were reflected together as a group on the needs or the goals of the educator that you're coaching, as well as the goals of the team or faculty or department that you're in, and then strategically the whole school. And if you have time and you're a district leader, then please go ahead and look at the district or academy level as well. So you'll find on the Jamboard that if you can work up until slide 4, there's a slide for reflect, identify and plan. And we thought that would be really neat if you're in individual breakout rooms, but we're all working on the same Jamboard, so all of the ideas are shared into one space. So, Becky, what do you think? Natalie, maybe 10 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, eh?
Yeah, I think so.
Global GEG doesn't have, I get what you're asking now. I'm so sorry. Global GEG doesn't have, it's not called enterprise anymore, but doesn't have an enterprise account. So the breakout rooms have to be separately made rooms.
That's okay. We can just all contribute to the Jamboard right now.
Yes, we will adapt on the fly then. That could be my mistake. I forgot that I had to manually make those. My bad. I have enterprise at my school, so I'm used to just opening breakout rooms to go. So sorry about that, guys. But yeah, let's go ahead and I'll get you guys some music and we will fill in ideas on the Jamboard and then we will collaborate together. Let me get you some music.
Oh, nice.
All right, so how are we doing, guys? Another 5 or 7 minutes for the other slides? Yeah? Okay.
Even if you don't know chords at all, you don't know anything about music theory like me, this is perfect for you.
Stop the music, whether you're vibing or not. I have created breakout rooms, so we're gonna let you guys go and chat for 5 minutes and then bring you back. So if you guys can go on to slide 5, please. of the Google slide deck, and I'll share my screen again. I have created manual breakout rooms in each of these stars. So if we have about 24 people, so you can go into one of these breakout rooms. If you want to go with anybody whose last name ends in, I hope I get my alphabet correct, A to F, let's say, and then you guys can go to breakout room 1, and then G to, I'm not going to do this right, am I on the slide? D to L, maybe. You can go to breakout 2, and then M to R to breakout 3, and then everybody else to breakout 4. Does that work? Possibly?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thanks, Shannon. You're awesome. Okay, cool. And let me just open those up to make sure you guys can get in okay. All right, breakout 1 is open. Breakout 2 is open. Are you working, guys? I don't see anybody in there.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm letting everybody in now. Here we go. All right, people are in, so feel free to hop into the Google Meet.
Thank you, Georgina, for doing that.
It's actually totally my mistake. If I had remembered that we had to do these manually, I would have had those done before, so it's actually all my fault.
No way, it's not your fault. We actually use Zoom at our school, so I'm more comfortable with Zoom.
I've muted my tab so that everybody can have a conversation. No, but yeah, we've used this. I think Bonnie and I did the last session together, and we had to create ours manually, didn't we, Becky? So I should have totally remembered. I've just been teaching online the last month, and I forgot that they were manual. So yeah, at least people are in there. Let's let Becky and Jared in to room 2. And Jessica is by herself in room 1 if someone wants to join room 1 with Jessica.
Becky's joining with the new last name. Yeah, I can just hop into another room.
She's in room 1.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind going to another room. It's okay. This is Jessie. I can just go somewhere else.
Yeah, if you wanted to hop into room, you can go into room 3 or room 4. There's 3 people in.
I'm going to get echo for just a minute, so I'm going to have them mute.
I'll end room 1 then. And I'll remove the link from breakout 1 so that nobody tries to join it.
How are you all doing?
If you wanted to hop in and chat with anybody too, feel free. I'm just going between them to let people in.
You can still hear the background, can't you?
It's okay.
Okay. Well,
It's so nice to see everybody talking. Gosh, I'm really glad I was able to put that up quickly. Thank heavens. Good. They just get so much more out of it, Natalie, when they're able to communicate together.
Totally. I totally agree.
Oh, Becky wants to meet this room.
all right, I think we got it. So we are talking about our the challenge-based coaching and helping us meet our school goals and our personal goals. Who wants to jump in? Oh, hello, little one. Hi.
Hi. We're having a little contributions here from baby.
I love it. I love contributions from all. Jared, you've been at this for a while. How do you align your personal and school goals to the coaching cycle? Because I'll be honest, it's not perfect in my district right now.
It's not perfect in mine either. So this year we partnered up with Expeditionary Learning EL, and so we ended up having a mentor through them who's been guiding us through different teaching pedagogies, strategies, things like that. She's been a thought partner specifically to our instructional coach. There's two coaches in my building, so it's me and the instructional coach. And so she's been trying to handle the large group PDs around the expeditionary learning. And then I've been more in the classroom providing that one-on-one coaching that we try to hopefully get the teachers to have a goal similar to that. But a lot of times, especially in this era that we are in, that's not always the case. So it's kind of been a hodgepodge of different things for me.
I'll go ahead. Our district has pretty specific goals, literacy and deeper learning, and they've been set kind of on a 3-year cycle, got extended because of COVID. So our district, our teachers, I'm a district coach. I have about 20 schools. So we're all kind of in the same direction, but especially since COVID, teachers, those goals are kind of secondary now, and they want to survive day to day in the classroom. So my role is officially an instructional coach, but I do all the technology coaching as well. So it's interesting because really what they want is the technology pieces. They want to know how to do this better online. And, we've been in and off online, mostly in person, but still they have, kids in the seats and then kids connecting from home when they've been out for isolation. So it's interesting. Our goals are clear and set, but what's immediate to the teachers isn't necessarily those goals. So that's been interesting.
My reality is completely different from, I guess, all of you, because I'm in Brazil, and our school system is completely different. But what my situation is that I work for a nonprofit organization that's a binational cultural institute, Brazil, United States. And we teach English to kids, basically. And we have, past couple of years, have had pivoting towards Google for Education and all of that. And what I'm actually doing here is learning from you guys' experience on how to start building a training program and coaching program to help people, the teachers, especially transition and develop professionally in that direction. So I don't have much of an experience to share besides the fact that we've been working a lot on, getting teachers certified level 1 with boot camps and specific training sessions. But we haven't done much coaching or one-on-one. And our innovation director was just promoted to academic director. And I pitched the idea of starting a coaching program to her, and she liked it. And she said, write up a proposal or something and see what we can do. So I'm on that stage still.
That's perfect. You're like at the pre-goal setting stage where we just got it up and running, and next up is going to be setting those goals, those short-term and long-term goals.
Exactly.
I think that's awesome. Oh, I love it. Cecilia or John, did either of you want to share out how your coaching goals and how they're meeting your school or personal goals?
Hi, this is actually new for me since it's my first year doing this. And then on top of being a coach, I was also asked to be a testing coordinator. And it's like testing now is taking more precedence over coaching. So it's like, yeah, we're in that mode. So we'll get through this year. Hopefully it will be much better next school year. That's all I'm looking forward to, because it's like, okay, we have to set our priorities, but yes, here comes testing and testing and testing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've had a couple teachers ask me if I was going to do another cycle, and I'm like, well, with testing coming up around the corner, I don't know if it's going to be have the time to try to do it.
Do you end up being involved in the rollout of testing too? Like, I'm often kind of part of the team that makes sure testing happens, even though it's just kind of falls to me. Does that happen with anybody else too? As that extra person in the building?
Yeah, so we kind of, I get partnered up with our computer tech, and so our job is mainly just to make sure the computers are getting on, the kids aren't having issues, students we have extra devices in the case of students not bringing theirs or breakages, things like that. So I've been lucky not to have to give the test the last couple of years, but definitely there is technical.
They're having such great conversations. You can see by the looks on their faces. I took some screen grabs, so we'll celebrate that after. Hopefully.
I need to get mute tab, but it is time to head back to the other one. I put the link in chat, so I'll see you there.
Their conversations. It's great to see.
Okay, good. Everybody's coming back. Awesome. Almost everybody's back. John, are you in the main room as well? John, if you can hear me, is John in the main room, guys? Let me do stuff on John. Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, cool. Well, welcome back to everybody. So just wanted to give, I know we're a little short on time because I had to create the breakout room at the last minute, so thank you for your patience with that. Hopefully that was helpful. Would anybody from maybe one from each room just like to share some takeaways really briefly? It doesn't necessarily have to be your own, but just something that really stood out with regards to any of the points on slides 5 and 6. Thank you. Go ahead, Becky.
So in Real Book, we were kind of talking about how we don't have a strategic plan or even know what it is. And it was kind of across the board. We were just kind of like,
That was the big takeaway. No, that's such an important aspect to bring to the front, and I'm sure you're not alone. There are other coaches on the call or other schools or districts who also don't have a strategic plan. I know for myself, I was hired at the school I'm currently working at 2 years ago to develop theirs. So I think you're right. I think a lot of schools don't necessarily have one, or maybe have one in the works, but that needs revamping in the current new normal. So thank you for sharing. So was it like? Yeah, it was just to kind of add on. It was kind of like, well, we have the technology, use it, but what are we using it for? And like, what's long-term goal? So that was kind of
interesting.
I mean, in our room, just to go off, Becky, what you were saying, I mean, in our room, we were talking about how, this particular school year, similar to last school year, has been an experience for both teachers and students where they felt like school and education was done to them rather than with them, with their input, or even, as from a teacher standpoint, there's a lot of joy in creation, and a lot of us just did not have what turns out to be that luxury. And when we're thinking in terms of strategic goals, Georgina, what you were saying about like revamping what those strategic goals would be or could be, I think a lot of organizations are in a situation where their goals just are no longer appropriate at all for the environment that they find themselves in. But that can also be an exciting moment. This can be an excuse to do something really wonderful and get permission to do it, because I think the beauty of someone or a group of someones who kind of step up and say, well, why don't you just let us try it? Now is an environment more than ever where administrations are probably more willing to say, yes, you do it. Yes, please.
For sure.
I love that. I love the fact that, it gives us permission. We often talk about risk-taking and helping educators with their risk-taking in the classroom, right, themselves and empowering their learners to do the same. And there's nothing wrong with doing that at the leadership level, right, and encouraging those steps. So I really love your spin on that. Thank you so much for sharing, Jessica. And I've reshared in the Jamboard now. If you guys can picture my screen, I've now officially got like 9 windows open to host a breakout. But I have the Jamboard back in now again. So thank you all. Please make sure we don't have a whole lot of time to go through each of the points, but hopefully you've been able to dive into it a little bit. We have another breakout room, a third one. Would anybody from the third breakout room like to share anything that stood out from their discussions?
We were in breakout 2, and we talked about how often, even if our districts or our schools have clear goals, when we get into this time of year, it's all of a sudden testing season, and so often the coaching kind of slows down or grinds to a halt, because as coaches we're those extra hands, and we're sometimes either pulled into testing, whether it's on delivering or helping on the tech end. So it's interesting how testing is such a time when those goals get pushed aside a little bit. So that was kind of one of the things that came up for us.
Thank you for sharing, and I think you're on the winner now. Go ahead, Priscilla.
I was in breakout room 3, and a big thing that was brought up is just the set goals or expectations of certain roles in a district. So I'm a tech integration specialist, but my district also has building level media specialists, building level coaches that are for specific subject areas. And so just not stepping on other people's toes when it comes to like what is your role expected to do when a district hasn't set those specific goals.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's really, really interesting how everybody's school or district or academy is in completely different parts of this journey, right? And so whether you're at the reflecting, the ideating, the strategizing, or the planning or the execution, and then reflect again, wherever you're at everybody's at different spaces, and it almost is an opportunity for us to learn from things that have gone well for one community, what's working well, and this BC Open Chat space is a wonderful way to do that. So I hope that your shares have supported your journey. So thank you for doing that. I'm going to reshare into the Google slide now, and we're just going to whip on over. Might be a little bit quicker through the other slides just to make sure we have time to get through everything. Okay, awesome. So the next slides, 7 and 8, are all about the coaching time. So we talked a little bit about this actually, Bonnie and I, in our last presentation. So we don't need to take a whole lot of time here because I know most of you have dived into that. But it is part of the module, and if you'd like to click on the QR code that we created, or you can click on the link that's embedded if you don't want to use the scanner, it will take you to this Padlet. So we would love to give you guys at least a couple of minutes just to jot down an idea. And this could be a perfect opportunity to celebrate something that you may have taken away from the last time we talked about protecting and prioritizing coaching a couple of months ago, and maybe something that you have been able to successfully implement since that session now. So yeah, just go ahead, take a couple of minutes, jot down an idea, something that you would like to either implement that would help you to protect your time. Especially it's an important reflective piece because not everybody necessarily, Natalie and I are both in online learning right now, but a lot of schools are going back in person or hybrid. So it's a really opportune time to take a look at that. Can everybody just give me a thumbs up if you can get on the Padlet okay? Hopefully at least I got one. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Natalie. Great. Okay, perfect. So we'll give you guys a couple of minutes.
Hey, Georgina.
Yeah, go ahead.
We can get on, but we don't have access to add to it.
For that. 1 second. Okay, it looks like the settings are there. Let me just refresh. If you refresh, Becky, can you now get in?
I'm in, but I still don't have the plus sign. I just hit refresh. Do you want us to just throw it in chat?
Yeah, let's do the chat.
It's so weird. Let me take a look at privacy now. Hold on.
We can always throw it in chat. I'm recording the chat too, so it'll capture all of that.
It's set to public and it says visitors can write. So unless it's updated or somebody else has used it in the last week and I haven't, please let me know if that's correct. But it says public and write.
It works now. It works now.
Oh, yep, the plus sign's there.
I was actually taking a look at the one that some of us have added to in the last slot. So it'll be interesting to compare and see the growth and the journey between the two. In fact, Becky, I might link in the other one into this Google Slides too, so that people can benefit from both. If that's okay. So will everybody's, and feel free if you wanted to share verbally as well while you're adding to the Padlet. Just wanted to go through the next couple of slides with with you guys, but I'm going to pass it over to my good friend Natalie.
Excellent, thank you. What slide are we on? Are we on slide 9?
8 to 9.
Yeah, 8. Sorry.
I was caught up reading all the chat, and Jared, you made me laugh making fake calendars. I love that idea. But it's so true. You actually have to block out the time and protect the time. And I think it's really important too to have conversations with your administrators, with other coaches in the building, and anyone who can support you to do that. I look at this slide on slide 9 and I look at the numbers, 70%, 4 per day, 20%. I actually laugh when I look at it because I don't know about you, but it's not doable on my schedule. But I think that we need to celebrate whatever percentage, however many times per day, whatever you can do to give and help and support, you'll find that it'll come full circle. And your school and your classroom will be better for it. We had the pleasure in January, we had a doctor, Dr. Robin Hanley Defoe, speak to all of the staff about wellness in uncertain times, especially like times like these. And she had this amazing takeaway, and I don't know why I hadn't thought of it before, but I'm a to-do list person. And she had this wonderful view or look, and she shared with us how your to-do list should have 3 columns. The first should be your to-do, the second should be the to-be, and the third should be the not to do and not to be. And ever since she shared that with me, I really reconstructed and deconstructed my to-do list daily. And I'm okay if I don't get to the end, if I don't get to all 3 columns. But that really was a little nugget that I took away in January. And I thought, yeah, wow. Which brings me to slide 10. If you haven't read this book, I highly recommend it, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. He talks about all of these habits to be proactive and begin with the end in mind and put first things first and think win-win, collaborate, seek first to understand and then to be understood. But the most important habit, I think, is his last habit, and that is to sharpen the saw. Take care of yourself. Find ways to fill your bucket and re-energize. And if you can do that, if you can just focus on one of those habits, I think 7 is the most important. I think you can be a better coach, a better person, a better partner in life, really.
Oh my goodness, if Natalie's speech didn't get you guys fired up, I don't know what will. Seriously. Fireball. I love it. And I have to say, for anybody who has read this book, I read this book when I was 23 or 24 years old, when I was still just before I left Canada. And I read it again recently, and wow, the journey you take. So, just that whole idea, guys, reread books again, reread your favorite quotes, watch your favorite inspirational, motivational videos. The way that they impact you and the way you reflect and connect with them change as your journey changes as well. So thanks for sharing that book out, Natalie. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, so we have about 4 minutes left, and we do want to respect your time. Apologies again, it's my fault that I didn't have the breakout rooms ready. And I even asked Becky too on the call, Becky, are you going to do those for me? No, of course not, Georgina. So apologies again for me. But if you wanted to drop in the chat any other ways, we have our EC Open Chat community. Are there other ways that we can support each other with coaching time? Are there any other ways? One that I wanted to bring to the table today was, how we talk about popping in and supporting teachers, whether online or in person, with team teaching or lesson observation. There's nothing stopping us from doing that across schools as well. Not necessarily with the students, obviously, privacy and et cetera dependent, but you could absolutely do team teaching across continents to see and coaching to see how ideas that are working in one part of the world might work also in the other part of the world. So a little bit of what we're doing here could also work across continents. If you guys have any extra tools, or tips or tricks that you'd love to share. Natalie's also created this awesome Google Sheet, which is linked into the image as well as the added here. So if you have any cool creative ways to spice up coaching, not really sure spice up is the correct verb that I want to use, but we will go with it. Shannon gave me the okay, so I'm going to roll with spice it up. And you guys can add it to those links there. And I'm just going a little quickly just because of time. Like I said before, Natalie's put in some awesome star points, guys. Please take a few minutes after the call today to reflect on these. How we can engage with our parent community, how we can foster teacher leadership, because everybody is a leader in the education community, right? I think sometimes we get stuck in our roles and we know that we report to somebody above us when actually everybody is a leader, including the students in our classrooms. So how are we fostering, modeling, and creating that very important culture? I'm going to leave it to Natalie for the last couple of slides.
Yeah, so just as you think about today and review the notes that we've shared and looked at all your amazing contributions, I think it's important that you take the time to identify one or two strategies that will have the most impact on your school community and share those one or two strategies with the group if you can, if you feel comfortable, along with a concrete next step, something to get this ball rolling. Anyone want to share? Or they can put in the chat.
And it could very well be just that you're on a certain part of the module, right, of the coaching model, and that you're going to work on the next step. It doesn't necessarily mean you've done the coaching cycles, we want to, like, what are we going to do to reinvent the wheel? No, it could just be that you're moving on to the next step, and every little small, tiny goal that you have is a big goal in the bigger picture. Yeah, thanks for joining, John. Nice to see you. Thanks for sharing today. So we'll just leave it off. I know it's 8 o'clock. We have this last slide, slide 15, guys, is a takeaway to continue to keep the conversation going. So if you guys go up to here to file and download, you can download this as a PNG, and we'd love for you guys to share this out on Twitter, tag EC Open Chat, tag Natalie, tag myself, Becky, Shannon, Jared, everybody, each other, and just keep the conversation going. I feel X about Y, or Y about X if it comes the other way in the alphabet. I wonder about as how might I. So some really creative ways just to keep the conversation going as we consider refining strategies for instructional coaching. So we will thank everybody again for your contributions today and your shares. Natalie was so excited to come and meet you guys today. So I'll let her say her farewells too. And then after, we'll stick around too if anybody has questions or wants to share. I have a little bit of time left. So yeah.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for sharing your Saturday with me. It was so fun to be with you guys today. And I hope everyone stays safe, be well, be happy, and do what you can.
I love that.
Thank you both so very, very much. Thank you. This was wonderful.
Becky,